I thought I pressed start streaming like 5 minutes ago. Oh, that's uncomfortable. Nothing quite like wine going down the wrong throat. My goodness. The wrong throat. The air-breathing throat. So, anyway... Hey, I'm wearing my Mist shirt. Okay, I should probably take my ponytail out. And onto the hairbrush it goes. This stream is off to a very weird start. Not the least of which being the fact that I have, so, of all days, it had to be today, of course. Like, holy cats. But, I haven't watched all of their videos, but I do like Markiplier, and, the Unus Annus, end is here, and I've sort of had it on. I really want to be there at the end, but in my time zone, it's going to be 2 a.m., and my sleep schedule is screwed up enough as it is. But anyway, that's not what this stream is. This stream is about playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Subtitle, Ops Harder, Post-World War II, not future, maybe good again. Unfortunately, only like the first half hour, probably, because it took me a half hour to make this background image. Because I prioritize things well. So anyway, we'll get to see live if it crashes because I have auto hotkey running in the background. At which point you're gonna get to hear me bitch a little bit about that. Yeah, ever since I think Black Ops 3, no, Black Ops 4. Ever since like Black Ops 4, or maybe what was before that? One of the Sledgehammer Games ones. That would have been World War II. I think World War II was fine with auto hotkey. Oh shoot, I have to... No! No! You're ruining it! It's being ruined! My first time experience! Why was my taskbar non-existent? Ho, 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 he, ha, he, ha, he, ho, ha, he, ho, ha, he, ha, he, ho, ha, he. I don't know, I occasionally mimic I occasionally mimic accents. It's what I do. So anyway, it didn't crash just because I had auto hotkey in the background. Now, not every Black Ops 4 didn't always do that. It was added in an update, and it's done for the reason of, you know, preventing cheats and the like. Auto hotkey is not a cheat program. Macro programs are not cheat programs. And also, I don't use auto hotkey for this. I use auto hotkey for programming and adding aim down sights in games that are incompetently made. Not just aim down sights, but also things like allowing myself to add keybinds to specific weapons in games like Serious Sam. Like, basically just to make games work the way they should. You know, give me the options that the developers should have given me. Just the brightness. Oh, hey, this actually works now. In the beta, no matter what I set it at, it was like stuck out like a sore thumb. The logo. There's this huge debate as to whether or not macros are cheating. I am firmly in the camp of macros are not cheating. It's more complicated. It has to be on a game-by-game basis. Because with a game like, say, Tetris, there's a fine line between a macro and just automating Tetris. But for something like a first-person shooter, a macro cannot lock onto a target or something. A macro can just hit multiple keys at once and make things a little easier on the user. And it's something that's available to everyone, at least on PC. It's not that hard to set up a macro program. Continue. I'm super excited for this, and I hate that I got to this so late, so I'll only get to play like a half hour of it. Because Black Ops 1 is my favorite Call of Duty game, by far. The multiplayer was the best in the series, in my opinion. The campaign was the best in the series. The zombies before Black Ops 3 was the best in the series, but Black Ops 3 actually managed to just completely wow me on the zombies front. I wish we got a remaster, personally, of the first one, because the first one, it had a rough development for multiple reasons, and because of that, it runs like crap, and the fidelity is in this. Some assets look really high fidelity, some of the most realistic graphics in the series, in my opinion, and others look like COD 4 assets. But also, every other Black Ops campaign is crap. Black Ops 3 is interminably boring, and Black Ops 2, I give them credit, they tried to do different things, but almost none of it worked. And so I'm super excited. I am super excited that they're going back to historical warfare, because as far as I'm concerned, their future stuff has not worked in the slightest. And I have to wait for... So this is going to be the waiting for shaders to compile episode. Can I tell this to just compile the campaign shaders? I don't care about multiplayer right now. Oh, and I forget what my mouse sensitivity should be. Oh, I should change this to... Why does it not default to borderless full screen? That's kind of a standard by now. Let's just apply for now. I don't know why shaders take so dang long to compile, or why it's even necessary. But no, the only thing I'm really concerned about with this game is that basically there was some sort of issue Activision was having with Sledgehammer Games. So for the past few games, it's been on a Call of Duty has been on a 3 studio cycle. What are they called? Infinity Ward's Corpse would make a game, then Sledgehammer Games, and then Treyarch. There was some sort of issue where Sledgehammer Games weren't ready yet, and so they had to rush this game. That combined with COVID makes me really worried that this game will not live up to the first game, which this is back during the Cold War. This is where the Black Ops series should have stayed, in my opinion. So I'm a little hopeful, but it's like that first Black Ops was the result of Treyarch doing a 2-year development cycle instead of a 1-year development cycle. Like, it was the result of them having more time than usual. And Black Ops 3, similarly, I mean, the campaign was mediocre at best, but the zombies was great, and I do kind of attribute that to them having 3 years instead of 2, and now they're back to 2 years. They had the help of like half a dozen studios, including Sledgehammer Games, so maybe? I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm really hoping this is the return, because Black Ops was great. Like, I can't sing the original Black Ops' praises enough. Just, it was a phenomenal game. I mean, I'm already docking points because I'm guessing they didn't have Kevin Sherwood do half the soundtrack for this game like they did for the original Black Ops, which his music is part of what made the original Black Ops, which is a shame because he's never on the soundtracks or anything. It's always the big name guy that they put on the soundtracks, but it's like, no, his music is what I think of when I think Black Ops. Like, whenever his music comes on in game, oh, it's so good. Like, he got the feel down, which I'm not meaning to discredit the other guy. The other guy made good music too, but it's like, it's kinda samey. I mean, he's a big name guy, and it's like, they aren't really going, the big name guys aren't really going to be stepping out of their boundaries or anything for Call of Duty. Which what am I looking up? I'm gonna stop ranting for a bit and it was, I'm not really that much of a soundtrack guy, but it was one of the big names. So it's like I don't have their names here. Call of Duty Black Ops soundtrack. Oh, it's actually not a name I'm familiar with at any rate. Sean Murray. Let's mute you for a second. That's nice. I actually have never seen that before, just a mute sound option. That's really cool. Let's go with faux, just right in the middle of the soundtrack. Oh, I don't have audio on. Yeah, this is the compiling shaders party, I'm afraid. But yeah, like, as I said, I don't discredit this guy's work. It is good. Like, it is objectively good, and I am loving what I'm hearing. Yeah, no, it only has to do this the first time, and then probably after content updates. But I have to go through all the settings anyway because I'm a PC gamer. And to be quite frankly, I do this on console when it lets me anyway. Yeah, so... yeah, his music is definitely good. But, actually, Kevin Sherwood uploaded a bunch of the music to his YouTube channel. K. Sherwood Ops. Because it's like, that's great, but it doesn't immediately... It's definitely... that definitely gave me Black Ops feels. Especially Black Ops Zombies feels. But the campaign also has a lot of that. Like, Treyarch is really awesome when they put their all into something. Let's see. Black Ops music extras. This is what this brings, yeah. Yeah, this stuff brings this music. I hear it and I'm instantly back there. Instantly. And also, I wouldn't have any complaints about the other guy if Kevin Sherwood got on the soundtrack. Because this is awesome music and I hate having to go through the game files, manually find it, deal with whatever compression they used, which the original Black Ops used OGG compression, OGG Vorbis? I think the OGG file container. Okay. Sprint cancels. Mouse wheel input delay. The beta got this right. The beta defaulted this to 0. Open switch wraparound, depleted system key. I use an IBM Model M. I don't have a system key. WASD, crouch / slide, prone. Ooh, what did I have you set to before? Sprint. Walk. I'm useful to try to... I'm gonna assume I don't need to have walk bound. It's to reduce accidentally switching weapons twice, and also to not create graphical glitches. But creating graphical glitches from going between your weapons is a lot of fun. So now this I don't understand. I don't understand why next weapon and wait, why does it say next weapon for... Okay. For some reason, previous weapon is listed before next weapon. Lethal equipment, tactical equipment, field upgrade. I don't have any context for this yet. Interact. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Repair armor, drop item. I'm not going to be playing. Ooh, score streak zombies? I seem to recall them saying that zombies had been reworked. I'm very interested in that. But that's not... I'm hoping to start the campaign today. I will do zombies later. Because I'm very passionate about zombies, but... Black Ops 4 just kind of broke me. They changed the wrong things. Because, like, it really needs to be rethought out. Zombies, that is. Contextual menu. Auto move forward, mantle, jump stance up, change stance, slide. Escape to cancel. Slide. Gonna see if that works. Melee. Change zoom. Trying to get through this as fast as I can. Menu facing. Aspect ratio. Field of view. Ah, let's just bump it all the way up to 120. Who cares about... I don't know. Field of view is weird for me. Brightness, frame rate limit, minimized game frame rate limit. Interesting. Let's just bump everything. I have to download that separately? Oh my goodness gravy, gosh me. Well, I'm gonna set this all and then I'll download the danged ray tracing! Ray tracing! Ray tracing! And look, ray tracing isn't just an on or off item. As it should be. I am going to have the most garbage of frame rates when I actually get into the gameplay. Oh my gosh. I only have an RTX 2080. So I don't have the shiny new RTX 3080. Who knows when us mere mortals will be able to get our hands on one of those. I wish it would give me like a example subtitle. Let's put the backen all the way down. I don't like subtitles that are like closed captionings. I like subtitles that are like subtitles because those don't get in the way of your view as bad. I wish you could disable stuff like hit markers depending on which game mode you're playing, because I don't want hit markers in single player in campaign. Since I'm going to be focused like solely on campaign, I am going to put everything off just in case. Oh, this effect is only for zombies. Okay. Floating damage numbers. That's going to be interesting. I have the FPS counter, but... Oh, GPU time and CPU time. I use these to see what's screwing up my frame rate. And they're small enough so that I pretty much just leave them on and forget about it. Okay, so now that all of that's done, going back to graphics, and we get to download the HD models separately. Ah, don't you love it? It's like it's 2010 all over again. Or not 2010, but like 2016. So we're gonna do display capture now. With whispers being unavailable between Battle.net friends? Battle.net has social features? Oh yeah, there's a social tab. Can you have friends? You can have friends. After the Epic Games launcher and the Bethesda.net launcher, I don't take those features for granted anymore. How do I... It just quits. It didn't link me to where the heck do I have to go to shop? How do I get to your DLC? Like, it didn't... I might be stupid. This is always a possibility. I might be stupid. Am I gonna have to look this up? Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Gosh, that is a cumbersome title. HD textures. How to download HD textures.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Joker here, just going to be bringing you a quick guide today on Call of Duty Black downloaded.
Yeah, get
So if you come into the settings on the game and go to the graphics options, you'll notice that there's an option here for HD game.
Yes, that's why I'm here.
And it doesn't even take you to the place in Battle.net to actually download the
Yeah.
game. So if you click on Go to Battle.net app, all it does is close the game, and it takes you to the Battle.net app, but it doesn't tell you exactly how to get it, and it's not obvious. So once you are in the Battle.net app, the game has to be closed for this. You want to go to Options right here on your Cold War tab, go into Game Settings, which should bring you right here, but if it's in General for some reason, just go ahead into this Game Settings here for Cold War. Then you're going to want to click on Modify Install. Once you're in this tab, you're going to want to go into Modify Install again. Yes, this is extremely hidden, and then you're going to want to go ahead and check the higher resolution assets right here, and it is a 45 gigabyte installation with the update, so...
What the frick? Okay. Modify install. Modify install. High resolution assets. I could have chosen to not install that stuff. I am interested to see Dead Ops Arcade 3. So Dead Ops Arcade was sort of, so Call of Duty Zombies at one point, like originally, was a joke edition, or not a joke edition, but it's like basically they just took campaign and multiplayer assets and just kind of for fun put in this extra mode that you would unlock after the campaign. It was a huge hit, and they added one map with every multiplayer map pack, and it just sort of became a series staple. In Black Ops, so that was World at War. That was the game before the original Black Ops. For Black Ops, they added a game. They added a similarly just for fun extra game mode, Dead Ops Arcade, which mimicked some arcade game. Let me see. Dead Ops Arcade. It's one I've heard of a lot, but have never actually seen. Dead Ops Arcade. Black Ops. Oh yeah, and it's similarly, it's a hidden game mode, but this case it's unlocked by typing DOA in the CIA computer on the main menu. The original Black Ops was really cool. Like, the main menu, it wasn't terribly practical. It was honestly kind of frustrating at times, but it was a part of the campaign. The main menu was a part of the campaign. You had control over your first-person perspective, and if you spammed certain buttons, you could break out of your restraints and walk around the room. It was really cool, and there was a hidden... It was a really cool game. And it's like, yeah, this game isn't going to be cooler than the original Black Ops. The original Black Ops is still going to be the best. I'm just hoping it gets close. That's all I'm hoping for. And quite frankly, I'm a little starved for some good historical warfare first-person shooters. Like, first-person shooters set in historical wars, not like being super realistic and faithful to history and all of that. I don't really care about that. I just care about what's being used as the backdrop and how cool the weapons are. Like, the Call of Duty weapons have just been boring for so long because they aren't skilled enough to make interesting weapons without just using real-world weapons as a base. They just aren't skilled enough. To be fair, Sledgehammer Games is skilled enough. Of all of the future Warfare games, Advanced Warfare is the best, and I am ticked off at Activision for basically telling them, no, you're not making Advanced Warfare 2, you're making Call of Duty, the creatively named Call of Duty World War II. Which, I mean, on the one hand, they're kind of the logical team for the job, because of all of the teams currently working on Call of Duty, I feel like they were the safest option to make a World War II game, because they would like do a ton of research and make sure they did it justice and all of that. But at the same time, how cool would it have been to have the corpse of Infinity Ward go back to World War II? It's like, they weren't making a good game. They were making... at the time, they were making modern... not Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare was alright. Infinite Warfare, which admittedly was one of their would have been one of their better future set in the future games. Or no, I think that was their first set in the future game, but no, that was their second. But basically, it would have been like, I was super invested in the story until it started wasting my time and started adding this. It wasn't really open world, but it was one of these, but like, you had a bunch of missions you could choose from a map, and it's just like, give me a linear story. I don't play Call of Duty. I don't want to be playing a Call of Duty campaign for 30 hours. And if I'm playing it for 30 hours, it had better be the best Call of Duty campaign ever, or dang near close. And it also didn't help that one of their big selling points with the campaign was space dogfighting, essentially. But this is the worst space dogfighting I have ever played. And I mean, one day I'll get around to reviewing the entire Call of Duty franchise. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. But I just want to get this out there. If it weren't for the space dogfighting, that was just so bad. Like, it was just, it wasted so much time. It was unfun. It was stiff. It was just absolute garbage. And I was invested in the story and the characters. I know that like 90% of the cast dies from people making fun of it, but I was invested. I wanted to see that campaign through. I loved the robot character. But it just... anyway, I'm gonna stop complaining about that. So... I realize that may have looked either very odd and or very concerning. I only had like the last little bit, and I am kind of OCD and like to get every last drop. So, anyway, this is going to take a while. And it'll probably have to recompute shaders or whatever nonsense afterwards. So, just after... Is this going to tell me what it's based on? Because I know it's based on, like, a well-known arcade game, but I really don't know arcade games very well. Come on. It based on... Because it's a twin stick shooter. Like, I'm interested to play Dead Ops Arcade 3, but it was never my favorite mode. It was just a kind of fun diversion for a few minutes. Because it's like, zombies itself is enough of a grind to get anywhere, but Dead Ops Arcade being based on an actual arcade game and like mechanically very simple, like it Smash TV, that's what it's based on. But yeah, it's a fun diversion for a few minutes, but it's just such a chore to actually get anywhere in. It'd be a little less of a chore if I could get some friends to do it with me, but it's like, even back in the day when I was playing with my friend Bruce, we didn't really get very far. But anyway, I am so sorry I didn't get to gameplay. I promise when I stream this next, there will be actual gameplay. Like, I promise, like, tomorrow, let's say. I'll try to, today I meant to try and stream some Skyrim during the afternoon, so I'll try to do that again, but who knows. Yeah, great look. I mean, I gotta look at the menus in the open beta, but I mean, hey, good on you, good on you, Treyarch. So far, your game doesn't penalize me for using auto hotkey, for just having auto hotkey running in the background. Like, it'd be one thing if I was using a macro in the game and like I got kicked or something. That'd be one thing. But to have it crash, and it's not like it tells me what caused the crash. It just crashes. It doesn't tell me that it crashed. It just crashed to desktop. Kinda pissed me off, if you can't tell. And Black Ops 4 was like that. The Modern Warfare was like that. Yeah. Oh, heck, you couldn't see the desktop. I'm an idiot. I thought I was showing you the nonsense. Okay, so I wasn't actually showing it, apparently. Thank you, Naomi, for telling me. I mean, for not telling me. Thanks a lot. So, yeah, basically, I had to look up some random dude's tutorial. What you have to do is, from the screen, you go to Options, Game Settings, and Modify Install, and for some reason I can't do that right now, but you go to Modify Install, and you check a box for high definition textures or some junk like that. Which it amuses me that we're still using the same terminology now that we were using when the textures were actually high definition. It's like, we're past high definition now, and we're still using the same terminology. Because admittedly, high definition, that's a relative term, and so going above high definition is kinda silly. High definition means, well, actually, strangely enough, high definition, HD, means 720p. 1080p is full HD. This is stupid. 1080p should remain full HD, and 720p should be half HD. You know, if I was in control of the world and people actually gave a crap. But, But no, basically, a high definition, that was a term that was being used. Well, actually, technically, well, it's like, this is a fun little thing I love to point out. The King's Quest games, here, let me change to face cam. The King's Quest games advertised themselves as 3D animated adventure games. You want to see these stunning 3D graphics? Look at it. Oh, those are the most gorgeous of 3D graphics. But, you know, at the time, computers were barely capable of rendering, like, vector 3D graphics at any sort of real-time speed. And this was a change because it was 3D, but you moved your character as, or the graphics are 2D, but you move your character as if it's a 3D environment. I believe this would later become known as 2.5D, although John Carmack, even though he is a programming prodigy, he is also very dumb when it comes to things. And so he called Doom and Wolfenstein's version of 3D 2.5D, which has caused numerous very stupid conversations online because no, John Carmack, they are 3D. Just because the height is a little hacky, and just because the gameplay doesn't technically happen on a 3D plane, it's being rendered in 3D. Anyway, off my soapbox of that, I'm very opinionated. Yeah. But no, it's one of those... I get it that the meaning of things change, but it's like, I remember, you know, 10 years ago downloading HD mods and stuff like that, and it's like, to see the same terminology being used for basically going from ludicrously high textures to even more ludicrously high textures, it's a little weird. But I'm also insane, and I like trying to run things at the highest settings possible. So you tell me there's an HD texture pack, like an official HD texture pack, oh, you best believe I'm gonna download it, even though my graphics card's probably gonna choke and die. Oh yeah, I actually have right here, I have the box. Unfortunately, I don't have PC Junior anymore. I still feel super bad about that. But I actually have the box, the original box for King's Quest here. It's missing one of the inserts, unfortunately, because I was a really stupid kid. But this is the most... what's the word? Deceptive game art I have ever seen. Like, this is so bad because it's like the game it's trying to advertise is not even remotely like this. This gets you in the mind for like what would be a traditional video game at the time. But no, like, you're not really doing knight stuff. You're not even in a suit of armor. It's like, holy cats. The most... I can't believe they got away with that. The actual... Admittedly... I got this fairly recently. The actual the box art it would later get looks worse, but is more representative of the game. Like, the PC Junior box art, it's just unrepresentative of what the game actually is. It looks okay for the time, like it looks good for the time, but this is more representative, but admittedly does not look as good. Like, I can't put my finger on it. It's just, this is the most rough box art in the entire game, or in the entire game, in the entire series. Followed by King's Quest II, and then every other one was a banger. The box art. Except arguably the 7th, but the 7th had a very different feel to it, and I feel they captured the feel all right for the box art for the 7th game. Oh, except if I can pull it up here, King's Quest V box art. King's Quest V, I just remembered, actually has the worst box art, the worst original box art in the entire series. Just, it is for the original release. The later release has an absolute banger of a box art. Oh, heck. It's not going back correctly. Absolute banger. But they so wanted to advertise King's Quest V as an adventure for the whole family, as a game for the whole family, and so we got this atrocity. Just revel in how ugly and terrible this box art is. There's a reason the collector in me kind of wants this, just to get my collection a little closer to completeness, but on the other hand, I almost want to burn this because it looks so bad. It's just so ugly and so I'm really glad they re-released it with good with good box art, not something that looks like the cover to a straight to VHS movie. That's the best I can come to describe it. It looks like the cover to a straight to VHS movie, or maybe even like the cover to a blank VHS or something. Like, this does not look like the cover to a game, let alone a game that gave me nightmares as a kid. So, but anyway, I realize the progress bar is almost complete, but I'm already like almost a half hour after the point where I meant to stop the stream. I just have I'm Minnesotan. I have a tendency to not say goodbye. So, this is the German inside me. Goodbye and go away.